Welcome to Math with Professor V. Here is your latest series of the day. And this time we're going to ask a little bit of a different question than the previous video. Determine whether the infinite series converges absolutely, conditionally, or diverges. And we have the sum n equals 1 to infinity of negative 1 to the n times n squared minus 1 over n cubed plus 1. Now, when you're testing for absolute convergence, you always want to check for that first, unless it's very obvious to you that the series will diverge. So, an is equal to negative 1 to the n times n squared minus 1 over n cubed plus 1. I'm going to test for absolute convergence first. And so I'm going to take the absolute value of an and decide whether or not that series converges or diverges. So we're going to look at the sum, n equals 1 to infinity, of the absolute value of an. And what that's going to do is make this negative 1 to the n positive 1 to the n. So we don't need to write it anymore. 1 to the n is just 1. So we're looking at the sum, n equals 1 to infinity, of n squared minus 1 over n cubed plus 1. Now I have to pick an appropriate test to determine whether this series converges or diverges. I'm considering the absolute value of the original terms. Well, what I tell my students is get a feel for what looks like it's going on. How fast are the terms growing? I have degree 2 in the numerator, degree 3 in the denominator. So this is giving me vibes of n squared over n cubed, which simplifies to 1 over n. And right away I go, oh, that reminds me of harmonic series, the sum n equals 1 to infinity of 1 over n. What does the harmonic series do? It diverges. So I suspect this series will diverge also. And so we have to pick an appropriate test in order to show that. I can't use direct comparison test. If I try to show using direct comparison that our series diverges, I need to show that these terms are larger than the terms of a known divergent series, and I can't do that very obviously with an inequality. So your next best option, I would say, is to do limit comparison test. I don't even want to try to integrate that. So we're going to use the limit comparison test. And we're going to take the limit as n goes to infinity of the terms of our series, so n squared minus 1 over n cubed plus 1, over 1 over n, the terms of the harmonic series that we're comparing it to. So this is going to simplify. This is the limit, n approaches infinity. This n, 1 over n, that I'm dividing by is the same as multiplying by n over 1. So now I have n squared minus 1 over n cubed plus 1 times n over 1. We've got this limit. Then let's simplify a little bit. This is limit, n goes to infinity, n cubed minus n over n cubed plus 1. Remember, no L'Hopital's rule on the terms of a series. So sequences, series, they are not differentiable. So when we're taking this limit here, we're just going to use our older limit techniques, divide by the highest power of n in the denominator. And then we have now limit, n approaches infinity. In the numerator, I'm going to have 1 minus 1 over n squared. And then in the denominator, 1 plus 1 over n cubed. Okay. 1 over n squared is going to go to 0. 1 over n cubed goes to 0. So I'm just left with 1 over 1. Boom. Now I just did limit comparison test. What's the conclusion of the limit comparison test? You need to make sure that that resulting limit is finite and not 0. It doesn't matter what value you get, it just better not be infinity or 0. And then the limit comparison test tells us that our series does the same thing as the one that we compared it to. So that tells me this sum here does the same thing as the harmonic series. Well, the harmonic series diverges, so then that means, let's summarize right here for the people. This means the sum n equals 1 to infinity of n squared minus 1 over n cubed plus 1 diverges also by the limit comparison test. I let my students abbreviate that LCT. Okay, so that means my original sum, n equals 1 to infinity, negative 1 to the n squared minus 1 over n cubed plus 1 does not converge absolutely. I took the absolute value of the terms and that series diverged. So no absolute convergence for us. Are we done? No. Now I want to see, but does it at least converge conditionally? On what condition? On the condition that it's an alternating series. So when you're testing for conditional convergence, you always use AST. Always and forever. So this one, you don't get to pick a test. Okay, so this time I'm going to refer to Bn as the terms, the part of the term without the alternating portion. So Bn is n squared minus 1 over n cubed plus 1. And when we use AST, we need to show two things. First, I want to know, is Bn decreasing? There's a couple ways you can show this. You can try to show that Bn plus 1 is less than or equal to Bn, but in this case, it won't work. It's not very obvious. If you substitute in n plus 1 for n, both the numerator and denominator get larger, so this is not an obvious inequality. So instead, we need to take the derivative, and I just fussed at you that we can't take derivatives of sequences because they're not differentiable. So what you say is, okay, let f of x, you define a function, equal x squared minus 1 over x cubed plus 1. Well, I'm going to take the derivative now of this function, and yep, it's quotient rule time, my favorite. So we have here, let me straighten this up, good, low d high minus high d low over low low. If you're like, what are you doing? I'll link the video where I explain my quotient rule song. And then let's see if we can clean up in the numerator. This is going to be 2x to the fourth plus 2x minus 3x to the fourth plus 3x squared over x cubed plus 1 squared. Very good. And then we're going to have negative x to the fourth plus 3x squared plus 2x over x cubed plus 1 squared. And I'm trying to determine whether or not this derivative is always going to be negative or not, because that's how I would determine if the function's decreasing. And it's not very obvious. Let me take a negative x out of the numerator. Then we have here x cubed minus 3x minus 2 over x cubed plus 1 squared. So keep in mind, I'm only interested in substituting in values of x that are greater than or equal to 1, because that's where n starts in our series. And I can play around with this a little bit. I know the denominator is always positive. That's always positive. And then this negative x out here, that's always going to be negative because I'm only plugging in x's that are greater than or equal to 1. So then now I just, negative. So then now I just need to check what's the sign of x cubed minus 3x minus 2. And if x is 1, that's going to be negative. If x is 2, that is 0. But once x is 3 and onward, this quantity here is positive if x is greater than or equal to 3. So basically my derivative will be a negative times a positive divided by a negative, which gives me an overall negative quantity. So this is less than 0 if x is greater than or equal to 3. And that's good enough for us. So we can say that means f of x is eventually decreasing and therefore Bn is also eventually decreasing. It doesn't matter if it's not decreasing for finitely many terms in the beginning, okay? As long as it doesn't continue to change, increasing to decreasing. All right, so first condition was satisfied, but it wasn't clean. Sometimes it's super straightforward and I love it. And then the second thing we have to check is what is the limit as n approaches infinity of Bn? It better be 0. If it's not, you just jump straight to test for divergence. So this is limit n goes to infinity, n squared minus 1 over n cubed plus 1. Again, no L'Hopital's rule. We're just going to divide by highest power of n from the denominator. So we're dividing by n cubed. And then we have now limit n approaches infinity. In the numerator, we'll have 1 over n minus 1 over n cubed, and then downstairs 1 plus 1 over n cubed. Good? Beautiful. So everybody, all those terms in the numerator go to 0 as n gets large, and then I have 1 plus 0 in the denominator, which is perfect. So we're left with 0 over 1, which is 0. Beautiful. So both conditions of the alternating series test were satisfied. So that tells me the sum, n equals 1 to infinity, of negative 1 to the n times n squared minus 1 over n cubed plus 1 converges by the alternating series test. And that tells me the sum, n equals 1 to infinity, negative 1 to the n squared minus 1 over n cubed plus 1 converges conditionally. All right, that's a full credit answer. So if you are struggling with absolute and conditional convergence, I have a video lecture dedicated entirely to it where I make a little flow chart to kind of help you strategize. But we can talk about it more. Just practice going through as many exercises as possible and you'll get better at spotting what techniques and patterns to use. So I hope you guys enjoyed this integral of the day. Series of the day. What am I saying? I'm so used to integral of the day. I'll still make you guys a new integral of the day. Don't worry. I'll keep up with both playlists, but I am in the midst of summer teaching madness. I have 3 classes. One is Calc 3. They're so sweet and they have their first test already next week, if you can believe it or not. They're doing it in 8 weeks. But that's all. Stay tuned for now. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and then please follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Math with Professor V. I love you all so much, and I'll be back sooner than later. Bye.